Joe here from Action X. Welcome to Let Joe Talk, or welcome back, because I don't know. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing alright. This is actually the first proper Let Joe Talk I've recorded in a while, considering the fact the last one was kind of like a spur of the moment, had to do it. Well, not had to do it, like, it was important to do it, slash, the one I did, like, that was recent. So it was all out of order in my computer, like, the production codes were off. So, but now we're back to normal, especially now that we're hitting the end of the season, the end of our run. For now, we will return at some point in the near future, hopefully better than ever. But enough about that. We'll talk about more future stuff later on. But, however, this week, we are still talking about the future, as we're kind of the season finale I have planned for this season is going to be very serious, that I kind of want to, like, let that be its own thing. Whereas for this one, I don't really give a damn. I'm going to go all out. I'm going to go all funniness, and kind of give a really big callback to season 1 of Let Joe Talk, when we began this whole adventure, this whole series, where I talked about when did I think Dragon Ball Super would end, and ironically, I was very close to the margin of one of my original theories that it was going to end within the next year and a half, 2 years, and it did end. For now, we don't know if there's going to be another one. That's a whole different conversation for another person to talk about, not me. So for me, as you have read by the title, the conversation today I want to have is, when will My Hero Academia end? And I feel like that's a more important conversation for me to have right now, since, well, it's a multi-sided thing that, when I did Dragon Ball Super, that kind of was like my it anime for a while. Even now, even when we're on a break from the anime / the manga is still going on, but you know, it's all in Japanese. Not all of the recent ones been come to America yet. It's still My Hero Academia is still one of the most, if not in the top 10 of the most popular mangas right now out there currently. And when I first started watching the show, because it was the show, I haven't read the manga yet. I mean, I only have the volume 1 of the manga. That's all I have. I'm planning to get them all, but it just... What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. It was just that fact that I want to get them in order, and my store doesn't have anything more than that. So that's all I was able to get before even the pandemic hit. So, anyway, go back to the question. When do I think My Hero Academia will end? Because keep in mind, I know very vague, minor stuff about where the manga is now, / I will be referring to where I'm very dead sure things are at the end of season 4 of the anime. So I'm kind of in between here, so I will probably mildly spoil certain things, especially as Heroes Rising is like so far ahead of the timeline right now in terms of like the anime onlys. Still, that's even... I'm just giving you guys a head up that if you want to still try and see My Hero Academia you just want to stick to the anime and such, this video might contain some manga spoilers, which you could see in season 5, or if we get a season 6 down the line, hopefully. But I think the most important question is, it's weird to say, because in the anime wise, I don't see the anime ending anytime soon. I still feel like it's still got enough juice in the tank that season 4 never felt like a winding down period. It felt like we're really intensifying things and giving percentages to Deku's current progress. It's kind of a key example of saying that, okay, there's absolutely no way they're going to end the whole story before he hits 100% at natural level. I don't think they'll ever do that. Right now, in terms of the anime, he's about 8% basic utility-wise up to 15. So that's where I'm kind of basing it off as. So, I mean, if it took us 4 seasons, I mean, technically, if you really want to be a nitpicker about this, when he started using the percentages, it's only been 2 seasons. So if we're judging it by that, technically, we would still have maybe like another 10, 12 seasons to go before we get even close to 100. But in the manga, which I have read certain things about, I mean, I don't bring this up casually because it's still unclear whether or not it means natural power, like, you know, it's a natural, like, it's like a this and that, like no repercussions. But I mean, like, you know, yeah, I'm at a natural step, because like he'll probably force out more than he can right now just to like save the day or do something heroic. But in terms of natural use power, that's what I mean. Like, that'll probably be the sign of where, okay, we are probably going to reach the end of this story. So for me, based on the anime and even on the manga, I don't even think we're even close to that yet. So I feel like from where we are in the manga right now, from what I'm aware of, we're hitting like a very crucial the threshold. If I'm remembering my English class specifically, it's like we're at the pretty much the middle point of the story. Like, you know, things aren't going to be slowing down from there, but we are hitting like a very crucial point in the story where it's like, okay, now we should really like start to anticipate things. Like, I'm not saying the story's going to start slowing down, but I am going to start to say that we're starting to approach the very end of the story, which is I still think, jumping ahead a little bit, I still think we have at least 5 more years of My Hero before we even think about talking about an ending. I that's what I believe personally. And yeah, especially when you mention like My Hero Academia has 274 chapters or 275, whatever this is going live. That's a lot of chapters. That's nearly 300. It's not that easy to create that many chapters and keep a consistent story going. It's also the fact that you have so many millions of fans staying tuned for either the anime or waiting for the next chapter to come out of Japan, wanting to know how this story continues. And I don't think, at least from what I'm aware of, no one's dissatisfied with them. But of course, like with any story, you never want to overstay your welcome, because by the time you overstay your welcome, it's too late. People are already like clamoring, like, oh, the show was the story was so much more better earlier on. They should have ended it there. And I feel like right now we're not anywhere near close to that. I personally don't believe so, even where we are right now. And that's a good thing for present day me. But as for future me, it will be very weird, because like in terms of the manga, yeah, the manga will be over, but then after that we'll probably have a couple more years of the anime to go through before we even think about saying properly goodbye to them. And thankfully My Hero has remained that anime that is special. The fact that they don't want to do filler, they don't want to overstay the welcome and just stretch things out until they get caught up and just add random filler that doesn't really add anything. Which I say this very loosely, is that My Hero Academia could be probably the only anime series I would be totally fine if we got a filler arc. Like, it's weird to say, but it's just like I love these characters so much that I just want to see them do something new. Maybe just something very simplistic. I mean, there was even in the 4 seasons we got so far, there were many points that I felt like, they could have easily maybe stretched this a little bit further in terms of before we get to the next. I could have easily seen it, and I totally would have been fine with that. But since it is a very limited episode order, they can't do that. They got to stay online with the manga, which I'm totally fine with. The manga's no complaints there. It's still by far a very great source of getting the story from. And where was my point? Oh yeah. So to come back to my point originally, so if we were going to say goodbye, it would still be a ways away. So for me personally, for My Hero, I'll still say I don't believe the show's going to end, or the manga's going to end for at least another 5 years. And please don't quote me on that. And just because I was right on the Dragon Ball Super mark, do not quote me because of my somehow random luck. That if My Hero Academia does end by 2025, that is not the point. I have no insider information. I'm just guesstimating. I want this to go on as long as it can, but also it has to have the ending point. It does, and I'm anxiously expecting to see where the story goes next when we get to season 5. Because the thing is about that I don't read the manga. I'm not up to tune with the manga, so I'm very well aware of basic events that happen, but I don't know the scenes in between. I see these pictures. Here's this picture from this moment, and then there's a picture from later on. I don't know the context in between, so I want to see when I see the anime, oh, that's how we get there. Because when I was starting to get aware of season 4, since season 4 took a much longer time to be produced, I did look ahead a little bit just to see, okay, what am I getting into with this arc? And I thought that there was going to be a failure attempt at the raid, and then we were going to get another raid, because I felt since this is a year long, I assumed that, okay, it's probably going to be something that, is going to take its time. But then, I was wrong about that. It's no, it just took one attempt. We went through, and that's the thing about the anime that I love. And also, I kind of, sometimes I understand why the manga some people prefer better. Because, the manga took, the big arc of season 4. That took almost a year to produce. That took a whole year to make that story. And then when you're doubling back to the anime, that took like 3 months. And of course, obviously, you're condensing so many chapters into this episode, and also you have to skim some stuff out because like, okay, this doesn't really translate well to the screen, or maybe just a creative decision like let's just not adapt this. That's understandable too. So that's why I'm still anxiously expecting the end. That's why I don't really want to jump ahead into the manga, where it's like, yeah, I would. If I want more My Hero Academia, I'll just read the manga and see where this season 5 will head us. But I don't want to. I want to let the magic of like the animators take over, because like so far My Hero has not let me down in terms of animation and storytelling. It has not. It has only just continuously raised the bar a little bit more, especially when we got that fight in season 4. Oh my god, that fight! Check out my What's on the Tube on that if you want to hear more about my thoughts there. But to kind of double back a little bit, I feel like just in general, and this just applies to just in general any TV show, any like very long running series, whether that is in movies or TV shows or in books, you never want to go beyond your intentions. And I know that some people have done that before, some writers have done that before because the popularity went to their heads, and it's I understand at the end of the day, and a lot of things I say on Let's Talk is about a lot of the things I talk about. The end of the margin, you're trying to make money. My Hero Academia does produce and make a lot of money. It does. It's one of the biggest recognizable franchises out there right now in the anime industry, and even at some points in mild general pulp culture. And it's amazing to see how much of its influence has spread across the world. And I'm happy to be a part of that fan base, and I'm happy to be watching the episodes and staying tuned for where the story's going to go next, and seeing the movies. Oh my god, the movies. Say what you want about how it affects the shows, but I love the movie experiences, like seeing two heroes with George, and getting to be next to two mega fans as well, be surrounded with people that love the franchise as well, is awesome. It was an awesome experience to have. And when I went to go see Heroes Rising just before the pandemic hit, when I was with George again, and we got to see we brought along a couple of our other friends, and still that same energy was there. Even though things were a little bit more different and seriouser than the last movie, it still was an amazing experience to have. That's like, I love this fan base. I love being a part of this ride as we see the story slowly unfold. Whereas, at least for me, I do plan on showing my kids this anime, this show, and hopefully they'll fall in love with this. And I'm really thankful that George had pushed me into watching this show in the first place, and now 4 seasons done, 2 movies in, it still holds my heart as like probably top 10 of my current shows so far of all time. And it's all because of the storytelling. It's all because of the writer, which I'm going to try my best to read his name. Oh god, Horikoshi. I'm just gonna say his last name because I want to butcher his first name, and the man deserves so much credit right now, so I can't really say much of it. But anyway, to kind of get back to the original question I stated, my probable guess on when My Hero Academia will end, in terms of the manga, I do not expect an ending any earlier than 2025. I do believe there's still way more of the story left. I believe right now where we are in the manga, and I'm not spoiling anything about the current war arc, as they call it, I believe that is going to be the threshold. Imagine the storytelling upside down, an arrow facing up. We've been going up so far. Now we're going down. We're reaching the end of the story. But if we took us 6 years to get to here, then I still expect us to take at least 5 more years to get to the end. I don't believe Horikoshi will stretch this out even further. I don't believe so. I do believe maybe had the show the series not been so popular, I do believe we would have reached the natural endpoint at some point in the past. But since there's 2 ways to see being extended. The extension can either mean like, oh, we were only planning in case the show or the property wasn't going to be that big with fans, so we're just going to like scale it down. So it's like, okay, we got the core story intact, so it's like we could still carry out what we're trying to tell, but then given the popularity of this franchise specifically, the ability to be able to like, no, we could really stretch it out. We can start adding more to the lore, adding more to the world, and being able to like not do too much, but do enough to like really build the foundation and build up this story as we get a new issue, as we get a new chapter, as we get a new episode, a new season, even another movie. And I can't wait for the day that when My Hero Academia airs its final episode and it's all done. I cannot wait to go and watch the whole thing, the whole series. I can't wait to do that. I can't wait. I know that's still probably going to be in my 30s. I'll be honest with that. And that's a scary thought to say, like, oh, when I'm 30, like, My Hero Academia will be done. And that's a kind of still a scary thought to say. But that's just the magic of getting invested into this world, where it's like you want to stay along for the ride. And then when the ride is over, it's bittersweet, but then eventually you kind of respect that, well, I would rather have it tell the perfect story than tell a long story to make me happy, but then I'll just be unhappy the fact that certain aspects of it just doesn't meet my criteria. Hopefully My Hero Academia will be that example of like, it told the story it needed to tell at the right pace, at the right amount of content it needed, and it didn't overextend its welcome. Hopefully that will be the case. Things can change as anything in the world has. You know, we saw what happened with Game of Thrones. I don't need to harp on that. I haven't even seen the last season of Game of Thrones, but I'm just repeating what people told me. And hopefully My Hero Academia won't fall into that category. I think I strongly believe we will get the ending we deserve for this story, whenever that is. And hopefully we won't have to have this conversation. At least we won't have to have the fear of having this conversation, at least for quite a while. I just wanted to bring attention to this because I love the show so much. I love the series so much. And I can't wait to see Season 5. Hopefully at the end of this year, maybe next year. I don't know. I can't wait to see Season 5 and see where the story takes us next. And I'm really excited for that. And yeah, so that's kind of where I stand. So my overall thesis, My Hero Academia will end manga-wise 2025. Anime-wise 2027. And then, I think that's going to do it for me, guys. So if you were very much unaware somehow and you were lost in my Hero Academia knowledge, this has been Let's Chill Talk from ActionX. If you want to see more of Let's Chill Talk from ActionX, you can subscribe to ActionX on YouTube. You can ring the bell for notification when we have a new episode live, which usually is typically every Wednesday. You can like, favorite, share if you want to, but it does really help us out, get us out there more. And we also have social media, so please follow that in order to be up to date on what we're doing next. I'll see you guys next time, hopefully, as we get to the season finale of Let's Chill Talk, and for probably, I think, hopefully the most impacted off-scripted episode ever, and I'm really putting that much into your head, so hopefully it'll come out well. But anyway, until next time, be safe, be good to each other. I'll see you guys soon.